Hello. I'm bad at PvP, so for the last 2 Deadman modes, I've played for the sole purpose of making as much main game GP as possible within the first few days. Last Deadman mode, I was able to make 1.7 bill in 5 days, just because of the insanely overpowered Abyssal Sigil. This gave me 5 times nature runes up to 10 times at 91 runecraft, which meant I was making around a mil main game GP every single inventory. On top of that, players discovered you could farm sigils while mining pure essence, which got removed almost immediately because of how OP it was. I didn't find out about this until after it was nerfed, so I decided to push 4 other accounts to the top bracket, and I sat them in the oak trees in Sears Village. This ended up making over a bill main game, just from sigils alone. I'd hoped I could do the exact same thing again, but with the removal of tradable sigils and the removal of my beloved Abyssal Sigil, I had to come up with a new plan. I decided to play 2 accounts during the first few hours at least. This was to make GP, and the easiest choice was a thieving ult. Steal from men, guards, and whatever until you're 50. Sit myself here, and hopefully make around 200k in the first hour. Then give that to the main account, de-skimmy, sorted. My basic plan was to complete the Varrock Museum and work towards as many points as possible within the first hour, so I made my way to the Gnome Stronghold. When I was there, I completed as many tasks as possible. The plan now was to kill hill giants for 6 or 7 big bones, which should get me to around 31 prayer if I use them at the Wildy altar. So that's what I did. So with the big bones and both of the museum XP lamps, I got to 37 prayer. Not all overheads yet, but it was enough for now. And after that, it was kind of just back to more points farming. So here is probably my first big mistake. I thought nobody else would be buying from Land's End, but I needed 50 molten glass, so I kind of spent a bit longer here than I probably should have. After that 15-minute mistake, it was back to the master plan. So by this point, the first hour had been and gone, so I collected a nice chunk of gold from my thieving ult. With that, I took my main account to hill giants and moss giants to look for keys. This is because the first kill count on both the mini bosses gave me a nice chunk of points, as well as a few combat tasks. Annoyingly, I got really unlucky with the mossy key and ended up going up a combat bracket, so I left, but I did reach my goal of 40 prayer for protect from range, so that was a nice bonus. The original plan for bracket 2 was to send a barriers run for the increased XP multi on the prayer XP lamp, but because the mossy keys took so long, I kind of skipped a few things, but I figured it was worth a shot anyway. After using literally all my prayer trying to kill Aram, I realised it was a bit early, so I decided to just kill the melee brothers for now and come back later with some prayer. I then wanted to use the rest of my immunity as Scurious. I got a spine pretty early on, so I took a detour to do the Knight Sword and came straight back. I ended up staying here until 70 KC and 80 combat, which was right on the threshold of bracket 3. After that, it was time to head up a bracket, try my luck at revs, and tidy up everything I had left on my day 1 plan. After day 1, I decided to swap out 1 mil before heading to bed, because I knew the raids would tank overnight, but that still got me 25 mil, so not a bad start. Day 2, I unlocked the elf storyline and forgot to record for the first hour, which sucks because I started the day with some Zora and missed this. I needed 1 for my plan anyway, so the others currently sat in the GE for about 1 mil, so it's a nice start to the day. In case you're wondering why I'm using Torex hammers, it's because I thought the accuracy buff from Barrier Sigil would be decent, and I planned on getting it anyway later on. I'm still not really sure if it was better than a D-Skimmy, to be honest. I'd only really planned out day 1, so by this point I was kind of already making shit up as I went along, but I knew I still needed a big chunk of points to unlock Barrow's Gloves and Dragon Slayer down the line. So by this point you can probably guess what the plan is, as I'm geared up and ready to try my first Vorkath KC. I kinda just want to test the waters and see what the kill times are at this point. Yeah, 5 minutes for the first kill is not ideal, but we've got a lot of upgrades to do and the GP from here early on should help that. So with a new salve and a Ves's spear, I tried Vorkath again, and I managed to shave off nearly 2 minutes, which is a pretty decent start. During this trip, my Serp helm from earlier sold for just under $1 mil, so that gave me enough money for some more upgrades, which I did straight away. While I was upgrading my gear, I was trying to buy some Statius or Vesta armor, which wasn't on the GE at the time, and I bumped into this guy, who I'm pretty sure is the one that bought my Serp helm, and I'll be seeing him again later, unfortunately. So by this point, I feel like I'd made enough upgrades to the point that I felt pretty comfortable just seshing out kills now and selling off the excess GP as when I got it. This is actually the second trade of day 2, as I missed the recording of the first 1 mil trade from earlier, but here's the second 1 mil Deadman mode trade of the day. And here's the last one. That's the end of day 2. We're up 95 mil at the moment, but the 1 to 10 ratio we've been milking all day won't carry on for tomorrow, sadly. Day 3, we've basically upgraded to Vesta's armor and Ruinous Prayers, which is more or less our final setup, as we're getting consistent sub 1 minute kills. So today is just about sending as many kills as possible and cashing out while the rate is still around 1 to 6. At this point, I wanted a break from Vorkath, so I headed to Zulrah in the hopes I might snipe 1 or 2 more of the Serp helms I got earlier. And barely 5 kills in, we bumped into an old friend. So that was our first real encounter with a PK, and I got chanced at least twice. I pop blocked myself, and I think if I hadn't got the second prayer up on his Karazi, I'd 100% have been dead. The gear that guy was in for day 3 kind of shocked me, to be honest. So I took it as a sign to sell up and ship out. I'd actually managed to hit rank 1 Vorkath on the server, and still not receive a single unique, which I'm honestly shocked about. It wouldn't have been a massive change in profits, but a visage would have been nice to see. In the background, I'm just liquidating the bank, and a lot of the gear I bought had actually gone up in price. The mace, for example, had more than doubled in price since I bought it. And of course, of all the trades to miss the old school window on, this is the most annoying. But you can see the client just pop up in the corner at the end for a 110 mil final trade, bringing our total up to 372 mil old school. It's not quite the 1.7 bill from last season, but it still worked out to around 15 mil an hour, so not too shabby. Hopefully they'll be making more skilling options again next Deadman mode, and they revert the sigil changes to make them tradable again. Thanks for watching my journey, and I hope it was interesting. I'll see you in next Deadman.